Hi guys! So today we are actually filming in the lovely Douro Valley in Portugal, but I wanted to film Story's 6-month update while we were here because it's just so lovely. Story now weighs 6.5 kilos and she's actually grown 9 centimetres since her last update, which is pretty good. She has had a big growth spurt and her clothes are starting to not fit her. Although she is still in the 3 to 6 month clothing, we are now going to move up to the 6 to 9 months because her leggings especially are getting rather short. Because of Story's growth spurt, we've taken out her Haduna car seat. She no longer has the first stage insert in there, the cushioning. She fits much better in there now. And also her Phil and Ted's sling that we use quite a lot. The newborn insert has been taken out of that, which kind of propped her up a bit in there. She no longer needs to use that. Although we are now back using the Liberty sling rather than the Phil and Ted sling because she can face forwards. She's much more alert now and wants to see everything. And in the Phil and Ted sling, she can only face inwards. So this is working out to be a much better option, the fabric tie sling, and she seems to like it. Story's hair grew back. She still has a very slight patchiness on the back of her head, but generally her hair is growing back nicely and it's getting a lot thicker as well. It's also changed colour a lot since birth. She has started teething, but there are no visible teeth yet, but there are definite transparency in her gums, and she does have a few moments where she's quite grizzly and she looks a bit flushed, but I think it's just the very early stages at the moment. She's also a big thumb sucker. She loves to suck her thumb and it is a big comfort to her, so if anything uncomfortable happens, Story will reach for her thumb straight away. She also sucks her thumb before she goes to sleep at night, and that's something that we're not going to discourage. I see nothing wrong in it, so we are letting her be a thumb sucker. A big milestone for this last month is that Story started talking. She is saying Mama, Dada, Nanny, Nana, and also she's said Eden, which is the name of our dog. She's said that quite a few times now, and she says them really clearly. She's also sitting up by herself, like we don't need to prop her up with cushions or hold her. She can sit by herself on the floor for quite a long period of time, and she's quite happy just playing with her toys on the floor by herself. She's also moving by herself. She's not yet crawling or anything, but she can move, like shuffling around on her back, down her cot. We put her in at one end and she'll be at the other end, and same with her play mat. Sometimes we've gone into the room and she's worked her way onto the floor. So she is moving and shuffling around, but she's just not crawling yet. So Story is actually 7 months now. She's just finished her 6th month and she is now eating food. So that is a big change that happened in her 6th month. We started weaning her. Initially, she absolutely loved her food that we gave her. We started her on a vegetable soup kind of mix, and we tried all different kinds of vegetables, and she loved it. She was opening her mouth for each bite, and then about 2 or 3 weeks in, she just went off food and she didn't really want to eat. We couldn't get anything in her. Now she is back on liking her vegetables again, which is great. There's no better satisfaction than when your baby finishes a bowl of vegetables. It's great. She wasn't that keen on the fruit to start with. She would screw her face up and just didn't like it. We tried her with apples, pears and bananas. She's starting to get round to the idea of fruit, but she's still very much a vegetable girl. We've also noticed that since she has started eating solid foods, she is being sick a lot less. So after her milk, before, she would be sick quite a lot and she would bring it up, but now she's not doing that nearly half as much. It's quite rare, so she doesn't need multiple clothing changes anymore, which is great. We are using a lot less bibs and muslins, which is also fantastic. Story is really interested in everything now. She loves her toys. She is interested in the details of stuff, which is fascinating for us to see her picking out the little tiny dots on a ribbon, and she'll just study it and stare at it for ages, and she just seems fascinated by everything. She'll find labels and ribbons and she just plays with that rather than the actual toy itself. She also loves textures. She has this cube which has got a crispy rustly side on it, and she loves that. She just spends ages touching it and playing with that cube. So yes, details and textures are something that we've really noticed Story getting interested in this last month. Another big milestone for this month is that Story is now in a cot. We dismantled her little Moses basket. She no longer fit in it. We used it until we could no longer use it anymore, and she is now in a big girl cot. We still have the cot in our room though. We haven't yet moved her into the nursery, so she's at the end of our room. But I think this month will be the month that we move her into her own room. Story is a really happy little contented baby. She can entertain herself for quite a long time with a couple of toys, and she's quite happy to just be left. She doesn't like too much fuss. She has 2 naps a day, a morning and an afternoon nap, normally around about 10:30, 11ish, and again at maybe 3 o'clock, and she'll sleep for about an hour each time. She's also still sleeping through the night, which she has done since 3 months. So Jay, her daddy, and I are incredibly pleased about that. She will go to bed about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and she stays asleep until about 6 o'clock the following morning. So that is fantastic. This was a really good month with Story. 6 months. She just became really interactive, and you can see her personality coming through, and we're really enjoying being Story's parents. The next update like this I'm going to do for Story will be her 9-month update, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what changes in the next 3 months. I'm sure a lot is going to change. Maybe she'll be crawling next time. So that is it for Story's little update. I hope you enjoyed it. And we are going to say goodbye and see you next time. Bye. You say bye, Story. Say bye. Yay.